going on, guys? UFC 256 back on pay-per-view. It's a deep card, guys. Very deep card. Main event. Excited for the main event, co-main event, and pretty much the whole main card, to be honest. A couple good fights also on the undercard and the prelims. So definitely a deep card. They were able to... this card almost fell off the face of the earth, to be honest. They were able to get the Tony Ferguson fight with Oliveira last minute, like within 2-3 weeks notice, and also the Figueiredo fight as well with Moreno, right? That was only booked 2 weeks ago. We did have some fall-offs in this card. Obviously, the championship fight with Sterling, right? Sterling and Jan, that fell off. So they were able to adjust this card, get it fairly deep. Very excited for this card. Fortunately, I'll probably miss the earlier fights due to some holiday obligations, but definitely won't be missing the main card. So excited for that. I only missed one card this whole year. I'm not going to make it two. Another profitable week for myself and subscribers. We were able to hit the best bet. Best bet was the over 2.5 rounds in the main event. Over 2.5 rounds in the main event. Wasn't decisive on a winner in that fight. So I did like the fight to go, at least 3 rounds, and it did. So excited about that. We also had a parlay, 2-fight parlay. My 2-fight parlays don't go higher than 2 fights. And we've been doing pretty good with the 2-fight parlays for the most part. We hit it again this week. We did have a loser on a decision. Prop, I had it by TKO, the Georgian. He won the fight fairly easily. I took a chance with the knockout. He did have 5 out of 7 knockouts, but unfortunately, he did not get it there. Updated record here, 43-18, 43-18. Still just over above 70%. I rounded down. I think it was 70.4, so I just do 70. And it's plus 42.9 units, guys. Only a few weeks left. Hopefully to stay above 70% for the year. This is a 1 year's worth of plays, guys. 1 year's worth of plays, over 70%. 50% holiday sale is still on, guys. 50%. A lot of guys have been taking advantage of it. I do thank you for subscribing. Check out systemsportscapping.com. 50% off all of December. So if you decide to get it, tomorrow, it goes until January 11th. It's not just for this end of December. You get a full month of my plays. Super hot right now. We are running really well. 24-8 NFL run. Golf over 40 units on the season. 7.7 out of 2 best bets run that we're on right now. Profitable in 15 out of the last 22 cards with 6 outright winners in golf. And obviously UFC I just mentioned. NFL, NBA's coming up, NHL, and then obviously MLB. I cap all those sports as well. So it's going to get busy for me. I'll be low volume in the NBA and NHL when it first starts. I'm usually fairly low volume in MLB and NBA, especially when NFL is on. So that will gradually get more volume throughout the year there. Let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into the card, starting with the main event. Main event, Figueiredo minus 300 versus Moreno plus 250. Both guys just fought a few weeks ago and stayed in Vegas for this one. Dana had to do some convincing to keep Figueiredo in the U.S. He obviously isn't from Brazil. I don't know if he's been away from Brazil this long before. I'm sure he has, but I've seen a few interviews with him saying how he misses his family, etc. In Brazil. And he wants to get home after the card for his birthday. So that's interesting there. Should be a good fight. I do think it lasts longer than both fights that these two were previously in a few weeks ago. Both guys ran through their opponents. First round finishes. Figueiredo maybe a little easier. He was able to, choke out Perez fairly quickly. And Moreno, it went pretty much the first full round. However, just at the end, it looks like his opponent, his something happened with his arm or shoulder. Shoulder disc came out of his socket, and he had to tap after that. So would have been interesting to see if that didn't happen. Would it have kept going? Not too sure. We were on Moreno in that fight, though, and also Figueiredo to get the finish as well. That's how those two played out, right? I thought that Moreno fight would go a little further than it did. But like I said, that injury, did it affect the stoppage? Probably. But Moreno was dominating that fight. He was dominating that fight. And I did think he was going to win it either way. Guys, in this fight, I'm very interested to see if Moreno can hang with possibly the fighter of the year. Listen, if Fig wins this fight, that is 4 wins and the 3 title defenses. He needs to get the fighter of the year. I don't care. Good all over. He can knock you out with his power. He can submit you. His ground game is solid. And it's a big for the division, right? He's very big for this division. He walks in probably at 150, around 150. Moreno has been coming on strong as of late, looking solid. But Fig is a different animal. Obviously the best guy he's ever fought in his career. Hard to see Moreno winning this one, in my opinion, guys. He has a chance. He does have a chance. Good value at plus 250. Very good value plus 250, like betting dogs. You know, it has opened the door. Fig is just on a tear, in my opinion. He's looking unbeatable right now. I cannot bet against the guy. Love to see the weigh-ins for this one. Remember, Figs, he does have some history cutting weight, and he has to cut weight 2 times in 2 weeks. That's going to be interesting. I did see an interview, said he's good right now at 135. So I think it should be okay. But I definitely want to see the weigh-ins on this one. I'm sure they paid these guys well to take this fight, cut weight 2 times in 2 weeks, not healthy. I'm very sure that Dana White stepped in and paid these guys to save this card. You know, I won't be laying the minus 300. However, you know, 2-fight parlay, sure, it is a parlay piece in my opinion. Round betting is tough in this one, to be honest. I could see it ending early, or it could go deeper just because Moreno does have a chin. He hasn't been KO'd before. He has been submitted one time. So if you're looking at an outcome here to get a better price, you will want to look at the finish prop, KO, TKO, submission, just to get a better number. Whoever you think will take this fight. My opinion, Fig wins this fight. It's hard seeing it go 5 rounds, in my opinion. I don't see it going all full 5. Just because the history with Figueiredo, Moreno gets stoppages as well. You know, I could see it getting out of the first, sure. You know, over 2.5, it's a toss-up, guys. I can't really give you a round prediction here just because we don't know. Fig could just come out and smoke. He's been smoking guys in the first round. It could happen again, right? I just say there's less of a chance that this finishes early just because Moreno shows that he has the chin. And he only's been submitted once. But he's in there with a different animal. He hasn't fought this level of competition. So we're going to see what happens. That's why I'm not going all in on this fight. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to see how good Fig really is. We know he's really good, but if he just blows through Moreno like he has been with his previous fighters, wow, very impressive. Definitely fighter of the year. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm very excited for this one. Now, another fight I'm very excited. It's the co-main, guys. The co-main event I'm just as excited. Maybe the most excited for, to be honest. Ferguson minus 163 versus Oliveira plus 137. Definitely value here on Oliveira. We know that. Plus 137, plus 140. Depending where you're shopping, it varies. This should be a fun one, guys. Very disappointed it's only 3 rounds. Very disappointed this is only 3 rounds. I would have loved to see this going 5. It will be interesting to see how Tony looks, right, after that beating he took last time out versus Gaethje. And Charles, we haven't seen for almost a year now. He was like the last, he was the first fight, the pandemic, when they started shutting things down in February, where he submitted Kevin Lee as an underdog there. You know, that is Charles' path to victory, right? In most of his fights is his path, the submission game. So good on the ground and in the submission game. He has the advantage over Tony in that department, where Tony will have the stand-up advantage here, in my opinion, the toughness and all that, right? This one should at least see a few rounds, in my opinion. right? I love the over 1.5 here. Oliveira, if this does end, it's going to be Oliveira pulling off a submission, in my opinion. I see Tony wins this fight by decision and just picking him apart on the feet. That's what I see here. I don't see Oliveira getting submitted. But you could see Oliveira possibly submitting Ferguson, but Ferguson probably would go to sleep before tapping if that does happen. It's just tough to see, guys. It's tough to see it being finished early. Very tough. So that's why I'm leaning for it to go a few rounds here. I just want to see how Tony looks first before laying this type of price after that ugly loss. He is getting a bit older. Right? He's getting a bit older. Is this a decline in his career now? Oliveira has been around. He's been the dark horse in this division. No one really talks about him. This is his chance. This is his chance to shine, right? This is his chance to get the big win over a big name. And he could very well do it. Very well do it. The only reason why, if you ask me who to play here, it's hard to be off. I won't have a play on the side for myself, for subscribers, or even for you guys. But Ferguson, it's just very tough to not say he's going to win this fight just due to his accolades. But it's just that beating he took and how much did that take out of him? And he is older as well, right? And Oliveira, he's just looking for that big opponent to beat. Kevin Lee, sure, big opponent, but you know, it's not a Tony Ferguson. If you have that on your resume, you know, we're talking title shot next. We're talking title shot next for Oliveira if he wins this fight, in my opinion, right? So because of the number, I'll say there's value with Oliveira. I would play Oliveira just because the number, right? Tony should win this fight from a skill standpoint. He's better all around than Oliveira. Oliveira's not great on his feet. So that's my opinion on this fight, and I do like it to go at least a few rounds, possibly distance. You're getting plus money for the fight going to distance. That is a look as well. I haven't made up my mind yet. I do want to see the weigh-ins. I do want to see how everything pans out. But yeah, that's my opinion on this fight, guys. It's going to be a good one. Next fight, Fiziev minus 150 versus MOICANO plus 130. More value. More value here, guys. Happy to see this fight is on the main card because it should be a fun one. Fiziev is maybe one of the better strikers in the UFC that nobody knows about. And it really should. He really showed it the last time out versus a game opponent in Dakasi, who I was on. I was on Dakasi and I learned from that one. To be honest, I didn't know a lot about Faiz before that fight. He's a striking coach in Thailand. He hits super hard. His leg kicks are deadly. Very good kickboxer. One of the better kickboxers in the division, possibly in the UFC. And he's very strong as well. Problem is, I haven't seen his ground game. And MOICANO will want to bring it to the ground. That's what I think this fight will be. He's not going to want to stand for 3 rounds with him. There is no way he would want to stand for 3 rounds with him just because of that power and just because of that kickboxing credentials that Faiz has. If this fight gets to the ground, how could Faiz handle himself there? I don't know. I haven't seen too much of it. Going back on tape, I'm sure he trains for it, right? I'm sure he's been training. That's because he knows MOICANO will want to get it there, right? MOICANO has been there with the much better guys as well. If you look at the resume, Ortega, who we just seen look like a superstar a month ago or so, fought his opponent that he beat, Korean Zombie, and Jose Aldo. Those are his 3 losses in the UFC, guys, right? And if you look at Faiz's opponent level, it's very different. Much lower competition where he looked good in that competition. That's why it can't be on the minus 150. It's impossible for me to bet the minus 150 due to the level of fighting opponent difference. The difference is huge, guys. It's huge. So Faiz looks good, great against lower competition. MOICANO's losing to top competition. Now he's getting a step down. If he uses his game plan by grappling and taking him down, he can wear him out and win this fight. More value. There's a value alert at plus 130. What I like, though, is this fight to go over 2.5 rounds, go the distance, and, you know, someone wins by decision. You know, fights he's been fighting lower competition, but he hasn't been knocking guys out. He's been winning by decisions, right? He hasn't been knocking these guys out. He just stands, bangs, and outpoints the guys. So if MOICANO wants to avoid that, he has to bring this to the ground. He has to wrestle, and then let's see if his ground game is good enough. I don't have enough tape to tell you that it's good enough. So that's why I can't bet on this fight from a side standpoint. But I would look for it to go, you know, a few rounds, and I would look for the fight to possibly go the distance as well, just because I can see it being a scrappy type of fight. Both guys don't really knock out guys, so that's why I like this to go to a few rounds at least, and possibly this fight will go the distance. Another fun one, guys. Another fun one. I told you this card is deep. I told you this card is deep, especially this main card. Holland minus 125 versus Souza. Now these guys were all mixed up with their schedules. Holland was supposed to fight Hermansson, and Souza was supposed to fight Vettori, but that did not work out due to Holland getting COVID, and then he's on the next week's card, which is kind of weird, but it's pretty crazy. This is another tough one to call, guys. Yes, Holland has been on a nice streak, right? If you look at his previous fight, oh yeah, Holland, it's low favorite, sure. Let's jump on him. The momentum, right? He has the momentum right now facing Souza, who's lost 2 fights in a row. I'm pumping the brakes though, guys. Jumping on the momentum in Holland just because how much a vet Souza is, who he's been in there with, and he's a much better on the ground. We've seen Holland get taken down often. We see Holland taken down often in his fights, guys. Should have lost that Stewart fight, in my opinion. Holland was surprised. He said he'll give Stewart another shot. And why did Stewart, I think, win that fight? Because he brought him to the ground. He was able to wrestle his way to the victory, and he held his own on the feet as well. He held his own on the feet. I could see the possible karate unorthodox style maybe giving Souza a bit of an issue, but he's seen everything at 41, guys. Yes, 41. This is something I'm a bit worried about. I'm a bit worried about the age. How much does he have left? Is he motivated for this fight? But looking at his training videos, guys, he does look motivated. And again, value at the plus 100. Souza was supposed to fight Vettori, which would have been a lot more difficult fight for him. Why? I think Vittori's good on the ground. I think he can stop the takedowns. This is a better fight for Souza. Much better fight. Outcome is tough to call here. I can see it going 3, or I could see someone getting choked out. I don't see a knockout on the feet, in my opinion. I can see a submission, though, which is more likely would be for Souza, choking out Holland, in my opinion. Get his back, choke him out. Good value with Jacare here. I'm leaning his way due to the even money and the good price. I haven't pulled the trigger as of yet, but I always do give you guys a play. There's value with Souza. It's just I'm a little hesitant because the age and how is he going to show up for a younger guy? Holland's a lot younger. He does have the momentum, but he hasn't fought a guy like this with the experience. And how will the styles match up? It's hard to tell. I can't really give you an answer on how Souza's going to handle that karate unorthodox style, and how will Holland manage the takedowns. That's another question, right? So we'll have to see. Another good fight, entertaining fight. I liked it to go a few rounds, possibly the fight going the distance, but over in rounds. And a Souza with the value at even money is worth a little look and sprinkle on. Last fight here, another good fight, guys. Heavyweight fight. Gane minus 400 versus Dos Santos plus 300. Heavyweight fight to open up the main card. It's a good one. It's with the prospect Gane. A lot of people have high hopes for this guy. 6-0 record only, though. Still a bit raw. Isn't known for finishing fights. So the price tag at minus 400 is a bit steep and scary versus a vet like Dos Santos. Dos Santos has been knocked out in his last 3 fights, which is a bit worrisome against, top guys in the division, though, right? Let's keep in mind they're against the top guys. You have to think Dos Santos will come out here with a better game plan, avoid these big shots. However, his opponent is not known for his knockouts or power. He's known for picking guys apart. He's known for controlling the fight. He can grapple as well. Gagne likes to just wear you down type of fighter, control the fight, pick you apart, possibly maybe getting on a submission when he is picking you apart and winning the fight. A bit worried about the Santos' chin, however. I do think this can go a few rounds. I do think it can get out of the first round. I do like Gagne to win the fight. However, if you ask me to put it, I'm just not going to lay minus 400. And outcome's tough. Outcome's very tough in this one. The price isn't right due to the competition and lack of experience. When the price is not right, I avoid it, or I look at the underdog. Lack of experience versus a vet like the Santos is something I like to stay away from, especially in a heavyweight fight. Yes, Gagne may be the future of this division. Yes, Gagne could run through him. But at minus 400, I'm not willing to throw that in a parlay. Okay, I'll look at the outcome, but you're looking at a minus 150 to finish him. If you want to bet Gagne, it would be down that road, I think. But it could go 3. Dos Anjos could hang around. Like I said, he's not known for his power. Gagne, he's not known for his knockouts. So this is why I cannot throw this minus 400 in a 2-fight parlay, and this is why I'll be avoiding it. Another thing to look at here, I'll leave you with on this fight, guys. Out of his 6 fights, 6 wins, like I said, he's 6-0. He has 3 submissions, right? They're not knockouts. They're 3 submissions. Dos Santos hasn't been submitted since 2007 in some, undercard. So that won't be changing. He's not going to submit Dos Santos. I would be very surprised if he submits him. So I'm going to leave you with that, guys. It's going to be, I think it's going to go a few rounds. I think Gagne will look to wear him down. I think he could wear him down. And I think if he does get a finish, it may be later in the fight. Late second, third round. But I could see this going the distance and Gagne just wins due to volume and controlling some of the grappling. But I don't see a submission here, and I don't see, an early knockout. So look at the over in rounds. Look at it possibly being finished later. But this fight could also go the distance. That will do it, guys. That will do it for the UFC 256 breakdowns and predictions. More free plays for you guys. If you're interested in get my best bets and personal plays, check out systemsportscapping.com. You get detailed emails with why I like the fight and the units and everything each week. UFC, PGA, NFL, all sports, NBA, NHL is coming up. All sports you get at a 50% off now at systemsportscapping.com. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's video. I'm working on new intros, new video stuff in January. I'll have some more tweaks and more video graphics, editing and stuff. I really enjoy doing the editing portion of it. So look for changes throughout the month and going into the new year. All right, guys, like I always say, that's smart and know your limits. Take care.